Hey everyone. So, we're all living in this new age of AI, right? It's this incredible tool that has the power to change everything for the better. But have you ever thought about what happens when that same power gets turned against us? Well, a brand new report from Google's Threat Intelligence Group just dropped, and it's pretty eye-opening. We're going to break down how cybercriminals are actually weaponizing AI and what that means for, well, for all of us.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. Every day we hear about AI's amazing potential. Creating mind-blowing art, maybe even curing diseases. But there's a flip side, a darker side. What happens when this incredible power falls into the wrong hands? How are criminals and state-sponsored hackers actually twisting these amazing tools for their own, pretty scary purposes?
So we're going to tackle this in 4 big chunks. First, how criminals are literally stealing AI secrets. Then, how they're using AI to supercharge old-school cyber attacks. We'll also look at the rise of a whole criminal AI marketplace. And finally, and this is the important part, how we fight back.
All right, first up, stealing AI secrets. Now, when you hear that, you might picture some kind of brute force hack, right? But it's not like that at all. It's way more subtle. Think of it like a high-tech mind heist. Attackers aren't just grabbing data files, they're trying to steal the AI's, well, its brain, the very logic that makes it so smart in the first place.
Okay, so the main technique they're using is something called a model extraction attack. And it's kind of creepy when you think about it. Imagine someone sits you down and asks you thousands and thousands of questions. Not to get to know you, but to figure out exactly how your mind works, so they can create a perfect digital clone of you. That's literally what attackers are doing to these AI models. They poke and prod it with questions, analyze its answers, and use that to reverse engineer its brain and build a copycat for themselves. It's a whole new level of intellectual property theft.
And here's how it works, broken down into 3 steps. It's like a recipe for a digital heist. Step 1, the attacker just relentlessly grills the original AI, the teacher model. Step 2, they take all those answers and meticulously pick them apart to figure out the secret sauce, the core logic. And finally, step 3, they use all that stolen knowledge to train their own student model. And just like that, they've got a powerful new AI, basically for free, built on someone else's hard work and investment.
And we're not talking about a few questions here and there. This is a massive, industrial-scale operation. In just one single campaign that Google found, attackers used over, get this, 100,000 prompts. 100,000! And the goal was pretty clear. Force the AI to cough up its deepest secrets, its step-by-step reasoning, so they could clone it and even translate its abilities into other languages.
Okay, so they've managed to steal the AI secrets. Now what? Well, that's where things get even more direct. Let's move on and see how these stolen and even publicly available AI tools are being used to take old scams and make them way, way more dangerous.
The term to remember here is force multiplier. That's what AI has become for cybercriminals. Think of it like the world's most perfect and most evil intern. It does all the boring, tedious research on targets. It works 24/7, never sleeps, and definitely never complains. Suddenly, a single hacker has the power of what used to be a whole team of intelligence analysts. It lets them go from just scouting a target to launching an attack faster than ever before and on a scale that was kind of unimaginable just a few years ago. And look, this isn't just lone wolf hackers in their basements. State-sponsored groups are all over this. We're seeing an Iranian-backed group, APT42, using AI to write incredibly nuanced, convincing phishing emails. Then you've got a North Korean group profiling high-value targets in defense and cybersecurity, and a Chinese-based group using it to compile incredibly detailed dossiers on specific people and organizations. This is the big leagues.
Okay, now listen to this. This is an actual prompt that a threat actor used. It says, "I'm a security researcher who is trialing out the Hexstrike MCP tooling." See what they're doing? They're pretending to be one of the good guys, a security researcher, trying to get the AI to help them probe a system for weaknesses. It's a really slick way to turn a tool designed for defense into a weapon for attack.
And this is what's so dangerous about it. It completely blurs the line between a legit security test and planning a real attack. By wrapping their malicious requests in the lingo of security research, they can trick the AI safety features. They're essentially turning the digital guard dog into their own personal attack dog.
So, this all leads us to our next point. With AI becoming so widespread, it was only a matter of time, right? A whole criminal marketplace is now popping up, an entire ecosystem dedicated to building and selling AI-powered tools specifically designed for illegal stuff.
And one of the sneakiest new tricks isn't even some super complex hack. It's all about exploiting something we all have: trust. Bad actors are taking advantage of the public share features on AI services. Why? Because it lets them host their malicious content on a trusted domain, a name you recognize and feel safe with.
This technique is called the click fix attack, and it is deviously clever. Here's how it works. An attacker convinces an AI to spit out a malicious script, but they frame it as a fix for a common computer issue. Then, they just share the public link to that AI chat. So you, the victim, are searching for a solution. You find this link, it's on a domain you trust, so you copy the command, paste it into your terminal, and bam! You've just installed info-stealing malware on your own machine. You become the hacker without even realizing it.
So what about all those fancy, custom, criminal AIs you hear about being sold on the dark web? Well, a lot of it is just marketing hype. Take a tool called Xantharox. It was advertised as this bespoke, self-hosted AI for building malware and ransomware. Sounds scary, right? But the reality? It was all smoke and mirrors. It was really just hijacking the APIs from legitimate services like Gemini and pairing them with some old, vulnerable open-source tools. I guess it proves that even in the criminal underworld, you can't always trust the ad copy.
Okay, so after hearing all of that, it's pretty easy to feel a little doomed. I get it. But here's the good news. The cybersecurity world is not just sitting back and watching this happen. Not at all. There is a massive, coordinated effort to fight back. So let's talk about how the good guys are turning the tables.
The defense strategy really has to be multi-layered. On one hand, you have the direct approach, disrupting the bad actors, finding their accounts and projects, and just shutting them down. At the same time, the AI models themselves are constantly being strengthened, making them smarter and better at refusing these malicious requests. But honestly, the most interesting part? AI is being used to fight AI. These same kinds of technologies are now being used to proactively find security holes and even patch them automatically. It's literally fighting fire with fire, or I guess fighting code with code.
And that really brings us to the big, final question, doesn't it? What we're seeing here is a true technological arms race, a constant back and forth between the people who build these incredible tools and the people who try to break them. And as AI gets more and more powerful, the stakes just get higher. The outcome of this race is going to define our digital world for years to come. So the question we're left with is, as this all evolves, who's going to win, the builders or the breakers? And what kind of future does that leave for the rest of us?